$27-20. Steelers finally break their 2-game losing streak. Let's go. Today could have been an exciting day. It was not. I was holding my breath for a nice little Steelers trade at some point today. And
hey, we did get Valdez-Scantling on the practice squad.
Yeah. What a joke. You got freaking the Jets selling house.
Yeah, it's a bit
Cowboys
ridiculous.
picking up all this stuff.
Well, reports were saying the Steelers are aggressive. I saw none of that.
Yeah.
I saw no aggression.
All the potential targets got traded away. Myers to the Jags.
Shaheed
to the Seahawks.
Oh, that's going to be... Dude, the Seahawks are looking like they're going to be a bit of a unit out there.
Yeah. The only thing I could see the Steelers doing is like some sort of signing. I'll talk about that later. But first off, we got to talk about this Colts game. 27-20. A lot of the takes are, you got 6 turnovers, you only won by 7 points. Those are like some garbage time scores. They weren't going to win. They weren't going to lose that. I mean, Roman Wilson had me a little scared with that stupid hurdle.
If you heard what Ben Skoranek said, that's exactly what I said as well when he fumbled that ball.
Why would you effing jump there?
Yes, why? Why would you do that?
Just trying to get the first down.
You don't need if we want to talk about first downs, Kenny Gainwell needs to start running up the field and not vertically. Not vertically, horizontally.
Yeah. They just got to.
That's something else I'm going to touch on a little bit, too.
Okay. But AFC North standings, look who's back up in second. The Ravens, 3-5. Steelers, 5-3. A little bit of they got a two game, 2 games ahead, but Ravens are stacking. They still have the better odds to win the division right now.
Which is ridiculous. But Vegas must know something.
They must, because, I might know something based off these past 2 weeks. I'm not completely sold yet.
Lamar Jackson. Is that your key right there, Lamar?
No, the Steelers defense. I'm not sold yet.
I thought you were talking about the Ravens there.
No. So looking at this game, some key takeaways on defense for me was, at least they showed up to play, and they didn't necessarily show up to play on 3rd and long and 4th and short. This game could have been over a lot sooner if they got stops in those 4th and shorts that they went for. They were like 6 for 6 or 5 for 5 on 4th and shorts. Granted, it didn't end up mattering in the grand scheme of things, but if you're going to be a Super Bowl type defense, you need to get stops on those 4th and short, 3rd and short scenarios.
My only, I have kind of a rebuttal to that. The Colts, I think they're the best team in 4th and short situations, and that it's not a tush push, but that little sneak they do,
that was just on one play. The other ones they ran actual plays.
Yeah, it's virtually impossible to
imagine
stop.
if you could stop the quote unquote best 4th down defense on 4th down at least once.
Yeah,
they got freaking smoked on all those. It would make me more confident in the defense. Now, obviously, the game was a step up because they actually came to play.
Yeah.
I was fine with the safety crew. Ramsey and Duggar off of like 4 days of practice. We'll take that.
Duggar, 77 out of 78 snaps. On 4 days of practice? That's solid work right there.
My only gripe with the defense is the corners. A lot of the talk was like, maybe they'll pick somebody up at the trade deadline. No. Maybe they'll pick up, I don't know if you just heard who got cleared, former 2nd-round pick, Asante Samuel Jr., free agent. He went under spinal fusion surgery.
That's always great to hear.
Yeah. So I don't know what his, capabilities are like, but he did get medically cleared within the last week.
That's a plus.
Wouldn't hurt to bring him in. The Steelers just cut Beanie Bishop from the practice squad to make room for MVS. So we'll see what transpires here in the coming hours or days. They obviously weren't active on trade deadline, but that leads into the offense. Everybody's expecting them to trade for a receiver. But my takeaway from this game is, running the ball, you got to get back on it. I think Warren had 1.9 yards a carry or something like that. Nothing good. Yep, 1.9. 16 for 31 and 2 touchdowns. Our leader and yards per carries. Caleb Johnson, 1 for 4. Connor Hayward, 1 for 4.
Yeah, Connor Hayward had a big one there.
Kenneth Gainwell, 3 for -1.
I wish they would stop trying to force feed Kenny Gainwell sometimes. They just try to force him the ball. It's really evident.
I just don't think the Colts were supposed to be that good of a run defense. Granted, Jonathan Taylor got held in check pretty well as well.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I feel like every time the Steelers went against like a top running team, they shut them down. And, vice versa.
And so I'm not too worried about the pass game. I think Rodgers, he knows what he's doing. He's getting sacked a little too much. But I have faith in Rodgers with getting the ball where it needs to go in correct situations and all that. I just want to see like an actual sustainable run game. It's been sustainable for the past few weeks, but that's what'll win you the football game. That's what'll get you the old time of possession, win, in which they lost this week again, 31-28. So we'll see what goes on with that. I think my main takeaway is, get that run going again.
Yeah.
And Amalu went out late. That could have been part of it. Who knows? He better be back for next week.
Let's hope. Because I know the Chargers, they have a banged-up line as well. I think Alt's out for the season.
They just traded for a tackle.
They did.
Trevor Penning from the Saints. Former first-round pick for a 2027 sixth-round pick.
Honestly,
we'll see if
trade deadline was
in.
Infuriating, but at least for my takeaways on offense, I was kind of thinking about this. Sometimes I feel like the offense gets into little dry spells where they just sputter out after, starting to drive off great. If they have good field position, they can't take advantage of it. So I kind of want to see the Steelers become more opportunistic off of things like field position or just, big chunk plays to start to drive. I feel like this year we haven't seen much of that.
Well, their first play of the game would have been a big chunk play, and then it just derailed the drive after that.
I just wish they could just
Washington dropped that, right?
Washington had a few kind of drops, but he got it together at the end there. And also, another takeaway, drops on offense are getting a little bit infuriating. I mean, Jonnu Smith had a few drops. So did Darnell, but, it comes with the game, but they should be able to catch those. I know Darnell would have had a touchdown there. That would have been nice to see.
Where he didn't even look at the ball.
He didn't look.
It just hit him right in the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have had a touchdown. Was that the fourth? That was the fourth.
That was the fourth
play,
down one, and that also took points off the board. And offensively, I can agree with you. The run needs to get going again. That's their big key. Keep using that jumbo package. Get Darnell moved up in there. So I think that would be really good for the offense.
Yeah. I think spread the running back wealth. I think your running back room's deep enough.
Running back by committee
is deep enough where you can keep the defense on their heels by not expecting who's going to be in and what's their running style is, But that's going to be addressed later by me. But concerns moving forward, I just mostly think it's this defensive back room with injuries.
I agree.
And no moves being made to kind of bolster up the CB slot.
It's like they're just trying to mix and match with the personnel they have now. I mean, that's what they have to do. But what I do like to see, I like Eccles out there. Eccles, he's a dog. Like, coming into the season, I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I don't want any part of him playing, but he's been kind of proving me wrong there. I'd rather him play over Slay. That's just how I feel.
At this point.
Slay is like a burnt potato chip, and it's bad. But I think having Ramsey up there at free safety, Duggar at strong safety, I think that was a really good. That's one of the only moves I could have made, but I thought that was a really good, kind of switch there. And I feel like the secondary doing their jobs for once actually allowed the pass rush to do their thing. That's what I liked. I mean, from what I saw from the pass rush, they were looking pretty good. They were always in Danny Dimes' face. They were throwing him around a little bit, making their presence known, which they've lacked over the last few games. So, when you get that.
Watt showed up and spent a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Peyton Wilson got drug tested.
Highsmith.
He looked good.
Rolled
his ankle. He got taped up early.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, man, here we go again.
Yeah, I mean.
Jack Sawyer got his first pick. Herbig was
D-line-wise, I thought it was pretty good. I think Porter Jr. is a little too handsy still.
Honestly, and it's they're gonna keep. He's gonna be a problem with the flags.
He's got to figure it out. Yeah, I mean that's like my only like critique of the game is just defensive backs with Porter, defensive penalties, and just like blowing up coverages, especially in man.
I know this isn't a concern, but I'm gonna go back to the defense. I thought they did a good job of containing Tyler Warren as they have been getting
I didn't even
cooked
notice
by
that,
tight ends.
dude.
Yeah, so that I thought that was a really, really good kind of thing with the Steelers defense.
Ramsey was blowing him up in the mouth too, so that was good.
Hey, Ramsey's just blowing people up in the mouth in general. He almost gave Michael Pittman CTE at the end of the game there. Got flagged for it, but
He gave the motivational speech to rally the defense.
He did
this week.
Aaron Rodgers said that in his post-game conference, and honestly, I think that's something the Steelers defense needed.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
You didn't hear that last year. Was Minka doing that?
Mm-mm.
No. So I feel like getting those guys kind of riled up, ready to go to war. I think that's a thing this defense needs. And I don't know. There's just I feel like there's something different about the defense. They play with more of an edge against the Colts this weekend. I like seeing that. Bodies are flying around it.
Let's see if they can put it together.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the Jets game.
Sunday Night Football.
Because you know how the Jets game, obviously it should have been a completely different game. But, the way the defense is playing physical-wise, I thought.
You mean the Patriots game?
No, the Jets game.
Steelers-Jets?
Yes. First game of the season.
When they let the Jets score 31 points on them?
I was just talking about the level of
physicality?
Physicality.
I don't remember the game too well.
Because I remember Jalen Ramsey he literally smacked Garrett Wilson so hard. It was crazy.
Yeah, whenever I think obviously the last performance like this was the Patriots. I think the Colts game was more of a, demanding win compared to that. But one good thing to say about that is the Steelers defense has shown up twice against two good offenses that are going to be playoff teams in the
Tomlin's
AFC.
team.
So it's interesting. We'll see. Maybe some decent playoff implications if they can actually make it. But looking at, trade talks, the main reason I kind of like the idea of getting another receiver is just having offensive versatility. Right now they run big personnel, multiple tight ends, jumbo. What's it going to be like for a defense whenever you can run that, but also you have the personnel to run 5 wide, empty backfield, and actually spread out the field? That's what I was kind of looking forward to with a trade, and I was kind of looking into people like I wasn't even a big fan of Myers or even Shaheed, or more Shaheed than Myers, but I was thinking like Waddle, Ridley, Olave.
I think Waddle's price would have been a little bit high though.
Yeah, I think they're in rebuild mode down there, though.
They are.
If you can do a second for Waddle,
I mean, we have draft.
Cool.
We had draft capital too, which is why I don't understand why they didn't.
Dude, it's in Pittsburgh. It's the big show. They want to put on the event.
It's always these dang storylines with this
picks.
team. Always the storyline.
Yeah. But no, I just kind of want another receiver, but we'll see if I'm assuming MVS will get put up shortly because based off that they didn't get anybody.
I'm just hoping no one gets put on IR because I know.
Like Scotty Miller was out that game with a finger injury, so I wouldn't be shocked if he gets demoted just because he doesn't see the field that much. Him and Roman Wilson probably offer about the same thing. So
don't even give me see Roman Wilson. He's starting to appear up a little bit more, but God, what an idiot! Trying to hurdle in the final few minutes of a game. That's
Joey Porter Jr. Got that pick after.
Oh, he did. Ball don't lie.
Roman Wilson owes him a lunch.
Ball don't lie.
Owes him dinner or something.
I'm glad JPJ got his pick. I mean, I feel like all this year he's been so close, but so far for getting a pick.
Yeah, Daniel Jones looked good old classic Daniel Jones.
The Steelers, look, they panned him. They panned to his a shot of his face, and it looked just like the Danny Dimes who played for the Giants, looking like he was panicking. I'm like, yep, he's broken. He's broken.
Did that, and then Jonathan Taylor was held down pretty well. So overall, pretty good, especially for quote unquote the most efficient offense in NFL history. But that moves us on to a quick preview of this Steelers-Chargers game, Sunday Night Football. I'll probably get a little preview episode out Friday, Saturday morning, something like that. Maybe Sunday morning, just to get you the day of, get you into that, the most recent news that's going to play into what's going to be going on. But Chargers, they're, fellow playoff contender with the Steelers. Both of their starting tackles out for the year. Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, gone. Traded for, Trevor Penning. He got traded for a 6th-round pick for a reason. This should be a field day.
We hope.
For at least the Steelers edge rushers, if they can figure it out right, can they get, because obviously they're going to scheme with getting 2 people on Watt, especially with the backup tackles they have in. What are they going to do? I'm thinking key matchups, obviously edges versus tackles, especially for the Steelers. How can they incorporate the dude Nick Herbig in there? Probably the most efficient pass rusher on the Steelers. Yeah. And how are they going to contain Herbert? That's really their own.
How are they going to contain their three-headed monster? No, I wouldn't say three-headed monster, but their little wide receiver room they have there. I feel
Ladd.
Like
who else they got?
Keenan Allen and then Quentin Johnson.
Keenan Allen, he's a speck of dust out there on the field.
You'd be surprised. The Steelers will give up 120 yards to him.
I think the main person need to worry about is Ladd McConkey.
I wouldn't worry about him.
Ladd?
I'd rather worry about their deep threats that, can burn our cornerbacks.
I think what the Chargers should probably do is scheme quick passes.
To Ladd, right up the middle? Is that what you're kind of going with there?
That's what I was going with. Scheming quick passes, because if you're down on this, skeleton of an O-line against the Steelers pass rush to just put up a 6-7 sack game, you're going to want to get the ball out quick. That's what I was getting at, and I think Ladd McConkey's their reliable short target. Quentin Johnston, you can run down the field and maybe catch it.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, I don't know what's going on with that dude anymore. He's probably just the third option. That's what I was thinking of with Ladd.
Honestly,
all their running backs are injured. Najee, Amere.
Yeah.
They're a little cooked there.
See, I feel like if we can make their offense inefficient, we can, do some damage there. Like you said, they have virtually no running backs.
Mm-hmm.
If they shut down the pass game, their offense is going to be stale in a bag of chips, and then, they'll be good.
Yeah, just overall, what is their mindset going into the game? Can they keep the intensity going out to L.A. and playing at, it'd be 5 p.m.?
Oh, fun fact, sorry. Keenan Allen's biggest game this year came against the Colts. 11 receptions, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's nice.
Let's see if he can be contained by, Joey Porter Jr. or Darius Slay, old man matchup.
He doesn't have a too bad season going on right here. I mean, got 50 receptions, 520 yards, 4 tutties. Not too bad.
And then Chargers defense-wise, I don't know too much about them, actually. But I think they're just pretty, 6th in total yards per game, 2nd in points allowed per game, 11th in total yards per game. Okay. Look at that. 27th rush defense in the NFL. There we go. There's our plan. Steelers.
Pound the rock.
Jam it down their throat. Hopefully Sam Olly's back.
Pound
if not,
the rock.
You got to figure out ways to stay with that jumbo lineup. Put it in there.
Pound the rock. That's all.
Pound it, put it in there, run the ball, Get moving. So, obviously key to win. Run the ball. Plain and simple. Be efficient, run the ball. Once you can run the ball, it opens everything else up. Predictions-wise, I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty solid week, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thinking this is a game where they kind of put most of it together. I'm going to go 31-17 Steelers. That's my prediction.
So I'm going to go a little bit along those lines. I know they're going to get a Boswell field goal in there somewhere, so I'm probably going to go 27-10 or 14, somewhere in that range. I would go 27-14, Steelers win. Obviously, they're probably going to start the game out slow. Chris Boswell, 2 field goals, and then they turn it up in the second half. That's kind of
hopefully.
Let's hope. Because Steelers love to start slow.
You know it. Like this week, they called the receive the ball. No dice. They won the toss, said let's receive, and then they had a 3-and-out. So that was pretty nice. Anyways, what do you think the Steelers' biggest weakness is as of right now? What are you thinking?
The biggest weakness as of right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on it, but the secondary, there's obvious issues there, but I feel like those issues can be fixed. But it could also just be a schematic issue like we've been talking about the last few weeks. But from what I saw in the Colts game, they didn't look like they were too bad. They got carved up on a few of those, kind of sideline passes there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the secondary is still a little bit weak. Obviously, they're injured, but hopefully they can turn it around here towards the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think the Steelers' biggest weakness right now is aggressiveness on offense.
Okay, I can definitely see that.
Will they figure it out and figure out, like, hey, obviously they went for that 4th and goal. That was aggressive enough. But there's been times where 4th and 1 or, like, 4th and 2, they're in, middle territory around the 50. And the offense didn't look terrible in that drive. You might as well go for it. You know what I mean? Look at that Connor Hayward tush push.
Hey, Connor Hayward, he's about to make a name for himself by tush pushing.
Yeah. I think it's Darnell pushing him. That's what's doing it.
But I actually had 2 people to shout out. Danny Smith for just being that guy,
on that kick out of bounds.
Oh yeah, kick out of bounds. Smart. Hey, and Mike Tomlin. I mean, this is the first time, well, probably the second time I feel like the Steelers have outcoached a team this season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm here for it. They outcoached the Patriots in that game. Outcoached the Colts here, so I think that should trend up. But when they play those, lower level teams, they should be outcoaching them, not getting outcoached by the other teams. So, yeah,
we'll get a little Tomlin Harbaugh, not the one you're usually used to. We'll see how it goes. I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic. I'm always trying to stay optimistic, but we'll see what really goes down here on Sunday Night Football. Hot takes, Amere. You said you had it to begin with. I'll follow with mine. I think I have a pretty decent one.
So I'm just kind of thinking about after the season, what will the Steelers do after Aaron Rodgers? Who is going to be that next guy at the quarterback position? So obviously, I don't really know how the quarterback draft class is shaping up this year. I don't think I've heard too many good things. I don't know if Arch is going to...
Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson. That's about it.
Yeah, and I don't even know if Arch is going to declare for the draft. So
no, he looks pretty bad.
Hey, he didn't look too bad in the game this weekend, but last weekend. But I will say, if Aaron Rodgers still has it, resign him to another year. Let Will Howard, trickle on down there. I don't know. Resign someone.
I don't really care about Will Howard.
Hey, we were born in the same hospital. That's the only reason why I care. And the fact that I know that is kind of crazy. But, I honestly think just re-sign him if he still has it. If not, then I think the Steelers are in trouble at the quarterback position. So, I feel like this is going to be...
Continue.
Joe Milton.
Oh, okay.
There we go. But, I feel like the quarterback position for the Steelers is going to – the fact that they don't have a solidified guy is going to bite them in the behind for the years to come.
Why do you think they saved all their draft picks today? They're trading up and they're getting –
nobody.
They're getting
what is Lenore Sellers doing down there?
He'll probably stay another year. He's still a redshirt sophomore.
Lenore Sellers. Look, I type in his name and it says Steelers on it. That's crazy.
Who knows what the Steelers will draft?
I mean, I think they... Hold up 1 second. Yeah. Apparently the Steelers sent 2 scouts to go scout Sellers, so that's something to keep an eye on, going into the offseason.
Well, he just played Old Miss over the weekend. 16 for 30, 180, touchdown, 2 picks. Pretty nice.
That's a Steelers stat line if I heard one.
Yeah, We'll see with that. I heard the quarterback play this year's kind of a little less than desired. One of the guys that was, supposed to be a first-round pick was Cade Klubnik. Check out those Clemson Tigers,
Yeah, Pitt's on track to go to the ACC championship, which is insane to think about.
I was going to say, can you draft the true freshman,
Mason Heinschel.
He's been carving it up. But PFF on their big board right now for the draft, there's their quarterback rankings. 1, Fernando Mendoza. 2, Dante Moore. 3, Ty Simpson. And there's a big drop-off to their fourth quarterback, Lenoris Sellers. Where's that dude? Trinidad Chambliss on here. Oh, my.
Is that the guy? Weren't you talking about him at one point?
The Ole Miss guy.
Yeah.
He's not even on the board, no. I wonder why. Oh, no, he's up here. Never mind. But, yeah. We'll see. I heard
What do you know about Nico Marchiol?
I don't know.
Do you know who that is?
No.
It's WVU's quarterback. He's not good.
Isn't he horrible?
He's not good. Hey, he beat RMU, though, but anyone can do that.
Yeah. I hope any regular FBS school can beat RMU.
Honestly? Oh, RMU basketball tonight. Big Ten basketball. They're playing Iowa tonight. Which is interesting because Alvaro Folgaris, RMU legend, is now playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh, did he get big dollar to go there, right? Yeah.
North of $1 million, allegedly.
Ooh, that's good stuff. He should spread the wealth. Just kidding.
Send it to the radio room.
Yeah. He can spread it out at Iowa. Yeah, that'd be crazy being a D1 athlete. You know, like, you just transfer here, we'll give you $1 million.
Oh, never mind. Nico Marchiol tore a ligament in his foot. Oh, that guy's done.
There you go. Yep. But my hot take has to do with the running back room. Caleb Johnson needs more touches. He is better than what you think, It's not really a hot take, but I do think...
I can agree with that.
I do think he's a good running back to spell in there. He looked quick whenever you remember that catch that was like 9 yards?
Yeah.
He got that, took off.
Honestly,
got 9
I just
yards.
think he was in Mike Tomlin's doghouse because of that fumble.
He was in Mike Tomlin's doghouse. He's
Danny
still in
Smith's.
He's still in everyone else's doghouse from that kickoff play.
Honestly, let it go.
What would you think, not specifically you, but any other fan, could you go back there and return a kick?
Oh, hell no.
Exactly.
Excuse my language.
Could you judge a kickoff? Probably not.
Nope.
Exactly. Now, he is getting paid millions of dollars to do so, but it's just one thing. Kickoff rules in college are different from the NFL. I mean, he also did touch it, and then it went back there. But
I also think that falls on. I feel like that falls on the coaching staff, though.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna blame him more.
Even special teamers, you got to hold your guys accountable. But
even
at the
if
same
he's
time,
not
you should know
on kickoff, I think he is running out of single back. I think he offers behind Warren the most threat. I think Gainwell's better out of shotgun, and I think Caleb Johnson should be our backup for the single back. With that series he was in for.
I don't even think Gainwell's
single back
even
play
a bad
action.
running back.
I don't think he's bad.
It's just I feel like he needs to be schemed in a way where he can be effective. Like when the Steelers they try to force feed him the ball and it never works because he always gets stuffed behind the line. Or something along those lines.
In terms of the depth chart, I think Warren should be the number one in single back and shotgun third down power back stuff, and then Gainwell is the backup third down back, and then Johnson's the backup power back. We'll see if they can incorporate him more. I like seeing him out there. He looks a little quick, once he gets moving.
I feel like I saw something Sunday that said the Steelers had like 4 or 5 running backs dressed.
Yes,
they
called up 2 guys off the practice squad, Sermon and what's his name, like Nichols or something like that.
Yeah, I think that was his name.
Blue Nichols.
I was like,
this is for
nice.
Special team stuff, especially because their D-backs are out. But yeah, that's about all I gotta say. Let's go after them Chargers. I'm a little scared for my fantasy. I have the Steelers defense, and then
I got Ladd McConkey.
Mahomes has the bye week, so I have to start Herbert.
If you want to talk about fantasy,
3 picks.
I started Danny Dimes thinking he was going to carve the Steelers.
How'd that do you?
14 points.
It could be worse. He threw 3 picks. So.
That's true.
But that is going to wrap it up here for our episode. Probably going to try and make another one here on pulling out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, someday on the weekend. But we'll see. Have a good week. Let's get these guys to 6-3. Let's go.
Let's do it.